For years, Tom Joyner was dedicated to waking up and shaking up America. Tom will always be one of the most well-known and well-respected voices in the African American community. Through his nationally syndicated Tom Joyner Morning Show, Tom informed, inspired, entertained, and empowered his listeners throughout the United States for decades. Each morning, he made us laugh, and he reminded us about the important issues we faced as we faced our day-to-day lives and our obligations to families and communities. Whether it was driving the vote, generating awareness and donations to keep deserving students in school at HBCUs, or taking our loved ones to the doctor, Tom kept us moving. And even though Tom has retired from his daily radio program, he will never stop serving and bringing his message to the African American community.
Well, Tom, I want to say thank you very much. As a point of personal privilege, it's an honor to be with you today, talk with you, someone who is an icon and has been the voice of Black America for so long. So really appreciate the opportunity to be with you here today. But here we are in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of conversation around social justice and Black Lives Matter. You are retired, but you are willing to speak with us about the state of heart health in Black America today. What brought you to this conversation?
You may think I'm just a DJ. I'm also a boxer. So about 5 months ago, I'm downstairs training. And I also, since I had I have a knee replacement. And since the knee replacement, I've had a full-time physical therapist, a PhD physical therapist. And so we're training downstairs. We're doing rounds. My physical therapist is counting punches. I'm in the fourth round. I'm up to about 140 punches, which, if you know anything about boxing, that's an enormous amount of punches to be throwing. So I'm rolling. And then all of a sudden, I lost my balance. And I had to hang on to the ropes. And it wasn't a rope of dope. I had to hang on. Mm-hmm. My trainer thought that I had just punched myself out because I was throwing so many punches. But my physical therapist said, "Oh, stop. I think he's having a stroke." I said, No. I just punched myself out. I'm just tired. She said, "No, you're having a stroke." I said, "Why? Is my speech slurred? Am I talking crazy? You know, all the things that I hear that happens to stroke victims." She said, "No, but look at your left side." I said, "What about it?" She said, "Look at your left arm. It's just hanging there." So she called 911. We rushed to the hospital. Sure enough, they said I had a brain bleed, and on the right side, and that of course affects, the left side. Mm-hmm. And I'd lost mobility and range of motion in my arms and legs. And I stayed in the hospital maybe a week before I was released. Since then, I've been working really hard. I do physical therapy twice a day. And recovery, it's slow, very slow. The reward does not match the workload, because I work hard every day.
Well, we appreciate you talking about that, because a couple of points, you didn't even realize it, right? It took someone else to realize it. And the other important point is someone else recognized those symptoms and you got immediate attention.
Because had I not, I'm very lucky. I am God's favor. And to have someone there to immediately know what was happening, you know, was the biggest blessing
That's a blessing.
yet, because I could have been completely paralyzed, yeah, completely immobile, you know, maybe I couldn't talk.
Now, was high blood pressure at all related to your stroke?
Oh yes,
Okay.
absolutely, that's what it was. I was operating with high blood. I've been operating with high blood pressure for a long time, long time, and didn't want to take medication because I just don't like taking medicine, and both my mother and father had high blood pressure, and I think their doctors over medicated them, so my blood pressure shot way up, over 200, way over 200. They said when they rolled me in, my blood pressure was like 220 over something. It was high. And they said it spiked. I bled. And
And you didn't feel anything, right? You didn't
no,
even realize you were having a stroke.
no, I didn't realize it.
Let me ask you about you and taking your blood pressure. Do you take your blood pressure every day at home?
Twice a day.
Why is it so important for us to self-monitor when it comes to blood pressure?
I had a stroke. Does that answer your question?
It does. And I hope it answers it for everyone because we really do think that is very important. Not just, it is important to go to the doctor, but you need your blood pressure checked more frequently.
Yeah.
So how do you think we can use our numbers regarding blood pressure as a badge of resistance to remind ourselves every day about the importance of heart health? And why should we care about our blood pressure numbers?
Blood pressure numbers, cholesterol numbers, weight, all those things contribute to healthy living. And if we don't pay attention to these things, we get sick. And you really can't afford it. To be honest, you just can't afford to get sick like that. You know, it's
It is very expensive, and all the more reason to focus on prevention. So,
yes,
yeah.
exactly. So, you know, get sick and see if you don't appreciate the numbers.
And your health, yes.
You know, your blood pressure, cholesterol, your sugar, all those numbers.
Well, great. Well, hopefully the message to get out is know your numbers, all of those numbers. So we appreciate that. How has your life changed since your diagnosis and your stroke? You talked about rehabbing and working hard. How else has your life changed?
I have dedicated my life right now to getting better. You know, I haven't walked straight in 5 months. I didn't walk at all till maybe about 3 weeks ago.
You're on your journey. Unfortunately, we have a lot of science deniers out there, but I know that you and I won't solve that problem today. But it is so important that we do follow the science. Certainly, this pandemic has really brought to fore the inequities in this country, health inequities, and really inequities in so many areas. And as we've said, and if you have said, structural racism is a factor in these inequities where we are today. How do you think systemic racism has contributed to the state of health in Black America today?
I mean, thank God for Obamacare, but still, you still got copays.
Yes.
And you still got premiums. And you know, we've got a lot of bills to pay. So, you know, we don't always prioritize our bill for health. And so I hope that, you know, that the government will step in and level the playing field, you know, without being accused of socialized medicine.
Well, at the AMA, you know, we talk about everyone having an equitable opportunity to achieve their optimal health. And part of that is certainly addressing some of those structural factors because we know education, lack of a good paying job, housing, and transportation all contribute to our health. This isn't the first time that the AMA has partnered with you. We partner with you on Take a Loved One to the Doctor Day. So why is that so near and dear to your heart?
You guys, we share the same vision. The AMA and the TJMS and all of the brands that fall under the TJMS. So it's a no-brainer. Everything that's wrong with our community, health-wise, can be prevented if we just first start with a checkup. And so we came up with Take a Loved One to the Doctor Day, where on a particular day, all over the country, we had health screenings. And the health screenings, with the help of AMA and others, we would, and some of these health screenings around the country even had people go immediately to the hospital. Some even did open heart surgery. That happened more than once in the years that we did it. So
Lives were absolutely saved.
Yeah.
No question with that
yeah, so it was
campaign.
It was a pleasure, an honor, and a no-brainer. Once I realized that there were other people who had the same vision of super serving the African American community. And when you guys called since I retired and said, "Would you like to do something?" At first I said, "No, man, I'm retired." You understand? I know I was the hardest working
That's
man
right.
in radio, but I'm retired now. Now I'm the hardest working man in retirement.
Right.
What do we do to make a difference? Be better black men to our black women